Hey guys, and how about we watch a death battle, Hercule vs Dan Hibiki. So of course make sure to click here to go to the official release, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So surprise, surprise, I don't know either of these characters, and before I get questions like, you know, how do you not know these characters? Was your childhood awful? The answer to that, I don't know the characters because I never watched Dragon Ball Z and I never played Street Fighter. Well, never loosely. Like, I've seen some episodes and I've played it a couple times, but never, like, really intently. And was my childhood awful? No, I had a great childhood. Thanks for asking. Just because I lack some of the things, activities, and whatnot from my childhood that you had in yours doesn't make the quality any lesser. I just want to point that out there. It's really small, but I just get so many of those comments. I want to just say right now, that's why I don't know them. It's not a bad thing that I don't know them. I just don't know them. But yeah, what I do know about them is that Hercule's from Dragon Ball Z, Dan Hibiki is from Street Fighter, and I know that while they're like superior to the average human, they kind of suck within their own worlds. That's my understanding of them, that they're kind of like the laughingstock almost. So I don't know what they're capable of, I don't know their backstories or anything, I really don't know anything at all, and so I don't have much to say at this point without watching the analyses first. So with that very little said, let's get to watching. Here we go then. Hercule vs. Dan Hibiki.
A good martial artist does not become tense, but ready.
Oh,
not thinking,
I see.
yet not dreaming. Ready for whatever may come.
But some fighters are dumb enough to ignore the legendary Bruce Lee's words,
Well-
like Hercule Satan, the world martial arts champion.
And Dan Hibiki, the Saikyo street fighter.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's
It
our
didn't
job
look
to
like he
analyze
fared
their
too well
weapons,
there.
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Cool, let's go.
The Earth was in danger, the future of mankind threatened by a monster named Cell. All
see.
would be lost unless a hero could best him in the ring of champions.
The hope of the world lay on the shoulders and afro of one man, Hercule Satan.
Okay, that didn't go too well.
Yeah, we're screwed.
Officially, Mr. Satan is the world martial arts champion and chosen savior of humanity.
Even that music though.
Or so he would have you believe.
Hey, if I could lie that well, I'd make everybody think I'm king of the world too. Or even God.
But before he was the hero of the people, Mr. Satan went by Mark. Eager to learn, Mark sought to master the art of combat.
Young Mark honed his skills in the dojo.
Just gonna call him Mark now, then?
Which sounds awesome, but sadly no, he was not actually trained by the devil.
Aw.
I looked it up.
Turns out he was naturally gifted in martial arts, mostly due to his strangely good luck.
Yeah, like when he won his first world championship after his rival got food poisoning.
Oh,
That's not suspicious at all.
Victory in hand, Mark took the stage name Mr. Satan in honor of his dojo and to sound better for the cameras. His
better than
victories
Mark.
and explosive personality quickly rocketed him to a life of wealth,
Satan.
fame, and luxury.
Which almost came to an end when he and his master got drunk and made fun of some random guy's ponytail.
uh-oh.
Turns out this random guy just so happened to be a superpowered immortal mercenary who then murdered his master.
With his
Remember,
tongue?
kids, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words should never be used against a tree-surfing murderer.
I see.
From that day forward, Mr. Satan swore he would never fight anyone whose identity was a secret or who seemed out of his league.
Seemed to
Oh.
forget about that when Cell showed up. Anyway, somewhere along the line, Mr. Satan married a lady named Miguel, and after a round or two
Not
in
actually
the Ovarian ring, had a daughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, then his wife died.
Wow, come on, Boomstick, show some tact. Despite his grief, Mr. Satan never let his loss interrupt his lifestyle.
He filled the hole in his life the only way he knew how, with more martial
fighting.
arts.
Yes.
He mastered techniques like his dynamite kick and megaton punch, which sounds like
Having
they would
a
make
wild
you
time all the
explode or
time.
something epic like that.
But they're actually just regular kicks and punches. He really only named them so he could scream awesome words while fighting.
Oh.
Hey, this is anime after all.
I feel more than a little underwhelmed by this guy right now.
Well, Mr. Satan's techniques were enough for him to legitimately win the 24th World Martial Arts Tournament, becoming the champion of the world and chosen savior to battle
I thought it wasn't
Cell.
legitimate because of the
But
whole
we
food
already
poisoning.
know how that went.
I could watch that over and over. In fact,
Are we just I was just wondering.
you know away from me, bitch.
Mr. Satan actively avoids fighting those who clearly outclass him, mostly to save his own reputation.
Thankfully, I don't think
First
Hibiki's
time he
too
saw
much
people flying
up
and
there.
shooting beams from their hands, he thought it was a bunch of cheap tricks and pyrotechnics. Even after seeing the most epic Kamehameha beam struggle of all time, he still denied everything.
It's a trick. It's all a trick, I swear. Someday I'll bring it all to light. I will. I can't believe it.
That's more out of fear.
Just in case he finds himself in over his head, Mr. Satan is packing an assortment of capsules containing jetpacks, disguised explosives, and even missile launchers. Man, if those existed in real life, it would be a TSA
All that
nightmare.
hidden in a
If
capsule?
there's
Yeah.
anything he's good at, it's public performance. He often weasels his way out of dangerous scenarios with lame excuses like faking stomach aches, and somehow the entire world buys his crap every single time.
I did it! For years, I've been trying to perfect a variation of the Megaton Punch that uses latent energy to cause a delayed reaction to catch my opponent off guard.
Of course, yeah! Delayed
Now, the
reaction.
crowd. I love all of you.
Who are you talking to?
Every single one of you. Like and subscribe.
Mr. Satan is a master of deception, an excellent actor, and a complete fraud. Still, he is strong enough to rip 3 phone books in half and pull 4 buses by himself.
That's
and once he
impressive.
actually moved faster than the untrained eye can see, but forgot bullets move fast too.
Well, if I have to say something nice about the guy, at least he's not Yamcha.
Mr. Satan has won the World Martial Arts Tournament upwards of 26 times, although only one of them was legitimate.
Yeah, the other times he rigged it by having Mr. Boo kick everyone's ass and then lose to him on purpose.
I see.
Still, it's pretty impressive he managed to befriend one of the most dangerous and untamed monsters in the Dragon Ball universe.
That is interesting.
Oh, and one time
We've seen
he
Boo
convinced the
before.
whole world's population to stick their hands up in the air and then wave them around like they just don't care, but whatever.
Boomstick that saved the world.
Eh,
Mr. Satan is motivated by 3 things: money, fame, and his daughter, who he seems to prize above all else.
Oh, that's
he may
nice.
be a bit of a con artist, but no matter what he's up against, Mr. Satan still finds a way to rise above his fears through his own bravery. Wait, did I just say bravery? I meant thick-headedness and straight-up stupidity.
It's still good enough.
Okay.
I don't think he was successful with whatever he was attempting there.
Oh, the pain. Oh.
Was he trying to fly? Alright, Hibiki's turn. Let's see how he
Sexualized
does.
In retaliation of SNK's blatant ripoff of Capcom's characters, Dan Hibiki was always meant to be a complete joke.
Dan had no natural talent in fighting people, but
Oh.
his father, Go Hibiki, was a martial arts master with his own dojo.
One day, Go's dojo was visited by Sagat, an enforcer of the crime syndicate Shadaloo. As an advocate of justice, Go refused to be intimidated by the crime lord and stood up to him the only way he knew how.
By punching him?
By kicking his freaking eye out!
Kicking, I was close.
Sagat brutally beat him to death in front of his own son.
Ah.
That should teach you to mess with a 7'4" Muay Thai monster!
It didn't. Enraged and distraught, Dan swore he would avenge his father's death. To do so, he sought out a legendary dojo hidden in the wilderness of Japan.
This thing is more elusive than child support to my ex.
Seems like the more time we spend here, the more questions arise.
I've never seen that movie,
Yeah.
and I've heard I should not.
Who the hell's Dad?
Against all odds, Dan found it. He was trained by its master, Goken, the same mentor who taught Ryu and Ken such legendary techniques as the Hadouken and the Shoryuken. Dan began the difficult journey of mastering the use of ki as a weapon of justice.
Until Goku expelled
And is
him
he done?
because he just sucked.
Oh.
Well, technically it was because Goken didn't want his training only used for revenge, but let's face it, he knew he was wasting his time.
And don't forget that
However,
you suck.
Dan's
Yep.
determination for vengeance continued. He took the little he had learned from Goken and ironically combined it with some Muay Thai.
This became his very own martial art, the Saikyo-ryu fighting style.
Unfortunately, while that sounds awesome, it didn't really work out.
Oh.
Dan's fighting style is, well, it sucks. It's awful. There's absolutely nothing redeemable about it. I mean, he can use special moves like the Koryuken and the Dankugyaku.
Which are like the dollar store versions of awesome stuff, like the Shoryuken and Tatsum, well, whatever it's called.
Also, Dan Kukyaku, did he seriously name one of his moves after himself?
Well,
Yeah,
are you
he's pretty
surprised?
full of himself, Which is why the Saikyo style's strongest technique is excessive taunting. He can taunt while jumping, somehow increasing his airtime. And by focusing all his energy at once, Dan can perform a taunt so fearsome, it will shock and amaze all who witness it just by being the most worthless thing they've ever seen.
Oh.
This is the legendary taunt.
Here I come! Hola! What's the problem? Don't underestimate. I'm awesome! Woohoo! Piece of cake!
Now, Dan can manifest
That's
his ki into
terrible.
a fireball projectile called the Godoken. In a way, the Godoken is symbolic of Dan himself.
Yeah, it's tiny, pathetic, and doesn't last very long.
Oh.
Despite this, Dan eventually tracked down his father's killer and offered to make his left eye match his right. In turn, Sagat politely offered to reunite father and son.
Oh, that's nice.
A long-awaited
Oh,
clash
right.
of fists began, a clash in which Dan was bent on retribution.
What? Oh, shoot, he won?
He did it!
Yes, Dan finally achieved the recompense he had sought for so long and trained his entire life for, because Sagat threw the fight in pity.
What?
Completely unaware of his luck and now confident he was one of the strongest in the world, Dan founded his own
Tears
dojo
streaming and everything.
to unfortunately teach other people his worthless martial arts.
Thanks, Sagat. Not only have you killed this man's father, but you're ruining other kids' lives now, too.
You'll be happy to know that not many students actually enrolled in his class, because he kept forgetting to pay his phone bill and did not include his dojo's address in his commercials.
Oh.
Classic Dan. By the way, what's
He's
up with
trying,
the paint
but-
key?
Well, it was originally white, but then he accidentally washed it with colors.
Really?
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Is that the actual explanation?
Making fun of Dan is fun and all, but let's be honest, he's not a complete pushover. He
Okay.
can take down multiple thugs at once, and even endured a beating from Ryu and Ken simultaneously.
Oh.
No matter how many times he falls, Dan will always get right back up.
And remember how Goken rejected him because of his thirst for vengeance?
Yes.
That's because Dan can actually tap into the Satsui no Hado, the evil, deadly energy that transformed Goken's brother Akuma into an island-smashing murderer.
See.
We're not joking here. Once Dan did access his Satsui no Hado to use the dreaded Raging Demon, a move which obliterates the victim's soul.
But how well could he
Damn,
control
if
that?
Dan can do it, I can do it. All right, watch out, Wes. Here it comes. Ah! Ah! Shit! Fell on my keys.
But more often than not, Dan's a klutz whose overconfident taunting gets him into trouble. He is his own
great.
worst enemy.
But even after crying like a baby from stubbing his toe, Dan doesn't let any of it keep him down for long. After all, who else will carry on the heroic legacy of Go Hibiki?
Hadouken!
Oh, so sad. Are we done?
All right,
Okay.
the combatants are
Getting ready
set.
to pause
Let's
it.
end this debate once and for all.
But first, your face is in danger, and only I can save it.
Pause? I don't know if there's going to be a commercial. If there is, we'll just play the commercial afterwards together. But for now, talking about this. So, I think right now that, oh guys, I forgot his name for a minute. I think that Hercule is going to win. And, I'm gonna put these back on, screw it. I think that Hercule's going to win because it showed that he was able to actually move faster than the eye could detect, even if he didn't fully do all that stuff. We actually got to see impressive feats in terms of, you know, strength, like ripping the phone books, dragging the cars and everything, which are genuinely impressive feats. Like, the average human could not do that. Not that Dan couldn't do what the average human could do either. I'm sure he's above the average human as well. But it seemed to me like he was less so, I guess. Even if Hercule in the long run was a fraud, still. And given that they're probably on about the same level, I don't know if I should say that, but I think that he could well deceive Dan Hibiki, especially if, you know, Dan takes pride from it, you know, and then Hercule could, you know, take advantage of that and attack him from there or something. I think that the biggest thing in Hibiki's favor is that Rage Demon whatever, which I already forget what it's called. But I think that that's the thing he has going for him the most, because if it really is that powerful, and if it just kind of does its thing regardless of his own techniques or whatnot, then yeah, it could definitely do damage. He was able to take a lot of punishment from, you know, Ken and Ryu, which is a pretty big thing, but I would imagine that Ken and Ryu weren't trying to kill Hibiki, whereas in this case, in Death Battle, you know, Hercule would be. And I think that Hercule has taken a fair bit of punishment too. I mean, as we saw from Cell, he was thwacked so hard he flew into a mountain. Like, Sure, it probably was just there for comical effect, but you know, if that happened to a normal person, they would be dead, just upon the slap, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm gonna say that Hercule is gonna win this one. I don't know how close it'll be, but I think that the biggest thing in Hibiki's favor would be the Raging Demon. So let's see how it all works out, and go.
If you're like me, blessed to radiate pure manliness, then you know it comes at a price. The price of facial hair stronger than cold steel.
What?
It takes a razor
kidding,
made
this
of
is like
mithril, forged in dragon fire and quenched in the blood of a unicorn, just to get a close shave. But since those don't come cheap, I'm often left using them until they're worn out and disgusting. Or I just give up and live in scruffy desolation. That is, until I discover DollarShaveClub.com.
What?
For just a few bucks a month, they send me a sleeve of quality blades right to my door. Now I'm able to man-sculpt my face at my leisure, using a new blade every week. Don't settle for using an overpriced inferior blade for far too long.
So if you need a shave,
Me and millions of others
go ahead and check out that website.
DollarShaveClub.com/screwattack and sign up right now and choose the razor that's perfect for you.
yeah,
If you
like
won't
any
do
of
it
those
for me,
three.
do it for the unicorns. But right now, it's time for
Suddenly
a
a
death
swap
battle!
death battle! Boosh! And then the door's open. Alright, let's see. So I'm rooting for Hercule here.
Savior of mankind, Hercule Satan!
Yeah, Satan! Woo! Okay, let's see what happens. Not that I'm gonna be like disappointed if Hibiki wins. I don't have an attachment to either.
Saikyo-ryu,
But
Dan Hibiki!
Woohoo! Here I come!
Ow!
you got this. We're good? Okay.
Nice moves, Hibachi. How about you ring yourself out?
You wish, chump. I hope you're ready for a beating.
A weakling like you stands no chance.
It looks like Mr. Satan wants to end this quickly. Which of his patented finishing moves will he use?
Dynamite King.
Which is just a kick.
What's this? He's avoided the champion's most devastating attack.
Ha! I psyched him out. He'll be too terrified to throw a single pull.
Oh no! I was mistaken.
Woohoo! Behold the glory of Saikyo!
This is just bad.
Whoa. Wow.
And now, behold
Uh-oh.
my ultimate attack!
It's like not gonna go at all.
No.
Also, cheap stage tricks, right?
What do I do? I couldn't time off the arena. I slipped due to my sheer muscle mass. Yeah.
Does it really take that long to charge? Right as I'm asking. Ha!
Yeah! I've done it! After years of training and grueling exercise, this pathetic pony's cheap tricks won't work on me! Ha!
Good for him.
Astounding! Who knew the secret to countering such an attack was to act like a coward?
Yeah! Wait, what?
What's this? Is it just me, or has Mr. Satan illegally smuggled weapons into the arena?
Oh crap! My backup plans!
He didn't use any.
What? I've never seen these before! Obviously, my challenger snuck them into my road to get me disqualified!
Who wouldn't?
Face me like a man!
Oh, sweet, a jetpack!
What?
He just picks
Yeah. Time for the next evolution of my martial art. Ultimate Rocket Booster Saikyo of Doom!
This could only end well.
Well, that's disappointing.
Do you know how to land?
One capsule left, but I don't remember what's in it.
Oh no.
You gotta think of something fast. This guy's good. I can't track his movements.
What the heck? I mean, what a spectacle!
Ah!
What could the champ be planning?
Oh yeah! I got this!
Uh-oh.
Ah, crap.
You're fine, get up.
I can't believe
dead?
it, folks! The match is still on! And Mr. Satan's limitless tenacity has worn down the challenger!
Aha! Yes, that's right. I tired him out. Me, Mr. Satan. That was my
Fight's
plan
still on,
all
man.
along.
He knows how to play the crowd, though.
What am I doing? I can't lose to this Joker. I have to win! For my father!
Ah, rage stuff! This is where I think it would turn, so let's see.
Oh, man!
Watch closely. You're about to witness the real deal.
They're just normal attacks, that's the thing.
It looks like this is the end!
Yeah! Ha ha ha! This is over!
What?
Oh, man!
Ah!
Whoa! I've never seen anything like that! He punched him so hard he turned into a jukebox! It can only be the champ's new technique!
That's what they're going with?
Karaoke punch!
Oh my god, I can't believe that happened. I need to change my pants.
Hercule Satan!
Yay!
Now he can disappoint his father in the afterlife.
Aw.
Hercule Satan and Dan Hibiki may be pretty pathetic in context, but keep in mind, before the Cell Saga, Mr. Satan was actually a legitimate world champion.
Unlike Dan, who only has one confirmed win to his name, and it was handed to him out of pity.
Which is so
And Mr.
sad.
Satan has proven time and time again that he is stronger than the average athletic man.
He once pulled 4 tour buses, which is nearly 60 tons, and then he punched through one of them. That's a sheet of steel right there. Dan
Couldn't get it out again,
a
but-
guy over his shoulder.
Mr. Satan once broke through a tower of 19 tiles with a single chop, and is the only character in Dragon Ball history to have fought both Cell and Majin Buu and not
survived.
die.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Dan's key attacks were his ace in the hole, but in true Hibiki fashion, it amounted to nothing but failure.
Aw.
Just like the time he managed to pull off the Raging Demon, only to be stopped by a high school girl's backpack.
Oh,
The key to Dan's failure
Well-
came from within.
The winner is Hercule Satan.
claps for Hercule Satan. And now, next time on Death Battle. See what it is. I don't know if I know this. It's blonde hair! Or is it red hair like fire? Oh, it's yellow from Ruby. I'll talk, of course, after, so. Oh, Yang, is that her name? I always just called her Yellow, because I only know trailers.
I'm Ben, I play Wiz, and we are super excited that Yang from Ruby is coming to the next Death Battle.
Yeah, and this time it's going to be a 3D animated fight by this guy. He's mocapping it as we speak.
He doesn't always dress like this. Yeah.
What do you?
No?
This is what I wear every day.
I believe you,
But,
Torian.
who is Yang going to be fighting? You can stick to our social media, and we will let you know very soon. Just
Cool.
go find us on Facebook, official SA, or on Twitter, @ScrewAttack.
Thanks for watching, guys,
Awesome.
and we'll see you in the next one.
Alright, later, guys. I feel like they're actually talking to me, you know? Alright, so I've got to say something just right off the bat with that one. I do tend to prefer 3D animation more than 2D animation. And so when I'm like really impressed by 2D animation, I think that means something. And so I want to say to you, Zach, if you happen to watch this video, I thought you did a really good job this time. Again, I don't know how much you get to talk to, you know, like Ben and Chad about the death battles. Like if you just get a look at the script, or if they just like, here's an idea, go with it. We want this, this, and this, but you fill in the blanks or whatever. And of course, a lot of it was just due to the comedy more than like the high intensity action or whatever. But this animation, the fight, was really fun. I really enjoyed myself with the battle. So, you know, good job for bringing it to life. That was really good. So about the next time before talking about the actual death battle that we just watched, yes, I've only seen the trailers for Ruby, but out of the trailers, Yellow, or Yang, I guess her name was actually my favorite because I really am a fan of like hand-to-hand combat, like the martial arts kind of stuff. And so having her mix that with the more modern kind of like shotgun gauntlets or whatever it was a really cool fight. And so I really, well, again, you know, she's just my favorite of the 4 trailers that I saw. I've not seen the actual series. People have asked me if I could react to it, but for that I would need direct permission from Rooster Teeth, and I've sent them messages, but they've never responded, so they can't. But I am excited for that. I am looking forward to seeing who she's going against, and I really do want to see how that works out. Just seeing her fight again is going to be awesome. So now for this death battle. I thought that this was a really funny death battle, and I really like the humor that, you know, they can bring to this. And of course, the 2 characters are humorous in and of themselves, and that really helped it, but it paid off. Like, it worked out really well. It was fun what they did with Hercule, it was fun what they did with Hibiki. And of course I am happy that I was right. You know, I said I wouldn't be disappointed if I was wrong about my prediction, and I wouldn't be, really, because again, I don't have an attachment for either of the characters, not having watched Dragon Ball Z, not having played Street Fighter. The only disappointment would have been like, oh, I missed something in the analyses or whatever. But what I thought was Hibiki's strongest point actually turned out to be kind of worthless because I guess he tripped over Schoolgirl's backpack, which I was not aware of. I don't remember them saying that. I don't remember them showing that in some hidden picture or sidebar, which, of course, you know, people of Death Battle do that, and it does kind of irk me sometimes because... And some people in the comments were like, well, that would give away the ending. And I'm like, well, yeah, for good reason, because it's a kind of essential part to the analysis, you know, the analytical process. But you know, I'm not going to complain about that any more than I already have right here. It was really fun. I thought the animation, you know, again, Zach did a really good job with that. The voice actors, I thought, did a really good job. I don't know how they match up with the canon characters, you know, the actual characters from the shows, the voice actors there. But just how they were portrayed, doesn't really matter to me in this case because, again, I don't have an attachment. I thought they were amusing just from, you know, not knowing them. So it was really good and enjoyable. And there's honestly not much else to say because I don't really have anything else to critique. My one critique really, or the biggest one, would just be the whole, again, they don't always show everything. And it makes sense that they don't show everything, but sometimes I just feel like it's a little bit cheap. And I was right this time, and so it's not, I'm not even saying that because like, oh, because I missed that detail, I got it wrong. No, it's just one of those things where, you know, they're like, he has this super powerful thing, oh, but he actually tripped and didn't get to use it. But I really rather enjoyed this death battle a lot more than I thought I would, given who the characters were. I thought not that I thought I would dislike it, but I thought it would be a lot more boring, a lot less relatable, or enjoyable, I guess. But no, they did a really good job of putting all the characters together. So I really did enjoy this one, and I hope you guys did too. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Of course, make sure to be nice about it. You know, don't purposely flame or troll people. Everyone has different opinions, and it's okay to express them, but do so in a friendly manner if you could, and we're calling it here. So with all that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, of course, feel free to like, comment, and if you're new, even subscribe. It means a lot, it really helps me out, and I would love to have you guys. So, tune in next time for my next video. And until then, take care. Cue outro, go!